Okay, this is Algebra 1. This is working with quadratics. Kind of follows right along behind the dilation dilemma. To speed things up, rather than make you fill in the table, we're going to talk about it together. So if the radius of the circle is 1, and we're going to just totally skip the process column, we have to find the area. And leave in terms of pi means that pi needs to be in your answer. Area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. So the area of your circle, if the radius is 1 pi, because 1 squared is pi. If your radius is 2 squared is 4, so 4 pi. If the radius is 3 squared is 9, so 9 pi. If the radius is 4 squared is 16 pi. If the radius is 7 squared is 9, 49 pi. And if it's 8 squared is 64, so 64 pi. Notice we had a couple of skips. We didn't do 5 or 6. It's no big deal. So you've got this copied onto the table. You do not have to fill out the process column. Now you have some questions that you're going to have to answer. You need to remember that domain and range wants numbers. You need to remember that independent and dependent wants words. And you need to remember that the window is talking about what you would see on your calculator. For problem number 2, same thing. A ball is dropped from a height of 100 feet. The formula is y equal negative 16x squared plus 100, where the negative 16 is acceleration due to gravity, given in feet per second. And the ball is dropped 100 feet above the ground. Complete the table. What you would do is take your equation and you would put it in your calculator at y equal, and you would go to your table. You would probably want to make your table ask on your calculator. So you would do second table setup, which is your window button, and you would set it to ask. So then you would go to your table and you would punch in a 1 and you would hit enter, and it would tell you that the answer was 84. Then you would put in 1.2 and it would tell you that it is 76.96. For 1.4 it would be 68.64. For 1.6 it would be 59.04. For 2 it would be 36, and for 2.5 it would be 0. So these are the numbers that you need to put in the height column on your table. They would have come from your calculator. I was just trying to make sure you had the correct data to work with and save a little time. Once again, remember, domain and range are numbers. The window is talking about what you would see. Independent and dependent wants words. If they give you a coordinate pair, for example, they took the 184, what that means is that at 1 second, the height is 84. You would want to use that to look at one of your questions. Last thing on your assignment has you determine if the data represents linear or quadratic functions. Remember that when you are working with a table, you find the first difference, and if it's the same, then it's linear. Then you find the second difference if it was not linear, and if it's the same, it's quadratic. So you take your table, you're only looking at the y or the dependent value to find your first difference. If they're all the same, you say linear, you go on. If they're not the same, you find the second difference, and if that's the same, you say quadratic and go on. If neither are the same, go check your work. That is working with quadratics. If you have questions, come see me during speed.